There's a stump in every life, a place that looks finished, a part of the heart or the family story that seems cut down to nothing. You look at it and say, nothing good can grow here, not anymore, not after all this, not after so much pain and loss and disappointment or sin. I'm pretty sure every one of us carries inside of us a stump like that. That is where Isaiah begins. A stump, a remnant of what once stood tall. Israel had been cut down, the once great nation in Jerusalem. Their kings had failed them. Their sins had caught up with them. Their land was invaded and their temple destroyed. They walked around in sorrow, like a people who had nothing left to offer. Into that bleak reality, God spoke a simple promise. A shoot shall sprout from the stump of Jesse. Something small, something tender, something that belongs entirely to him. Advent meets us in those same places. God looks at what feels empty or exhausted and says, I can grow something here. Maybe we can't imagine anything good emerging from that painful memory or that broken relationship or that habit that we just cannot seem to shake. But the invitation isn't to imagine an outcome, but to trust the one who plants the seed. God brings life out of what we consider ruined soil. Isaiah gives us more than a symbol. He gives us a portrait of the Messiah. The Spirit of the Lord rests upon him with wisdom, understanding, counsel, strength, knowledge, and holy fear. These are the gifts that we long for when life becomes heavy or confusing. Christ carries them in perfect balance. He sees the heart clearly. He understands others without relying on rumor or pressure. His gaze cuts through appearances and reaches the truth. And this matters because our judgments often misfire. We size people up from a distance. We rely on half-heard stories. We cling to old grievances long after the Lord has forgiven the person. Christ sees deeper. His justice protects the poor and strengthens the vulnerable. His judgment builds up rather than tears down. He restores what others dismiss. Isaiah's vision of peace stretches our imagination. Wolves and lambs shall lay together. Bears and cows shall rest. Children shall be unafraid near places once considered dangerous. It's a picture of a world where hostility has lost its power. This vision doesn't ignore reality. It promises what God intends to accomplish through his Messiah. When Christ's reign enters the human heart, old patterns begin to loosen. The instinct to strike back fades. Trust replaces fear. And a gentler world becomes possible because of gentler hearts taking root within us. The gospel brings us even closer to that promise. Jesus rejoices in the Holy Spirit because the Father reveals his mysteries to the childlike. Not those who rely on their own cleverness or strength, but those who approach with trust. Those who carry a humble readiness to receive. Advent is the season that teaches us this posture. It slows the heart, it softens the grip, and it opens us again to hear the Father's voice. Jesus tells the disciples that their eyes are blessed, for they see what generations longed to see. That same blessing reaches us each time we turn toward him. All the ancient prophets dreamed the day that they could not only look upon Jesus, but receive him. Christ is not far away. He draws near in his word and in his sacraments, and he draws near in the quiet moments when we finally stop and let him speak. As we continue through Advent, we can ask for two simple graces. First, to believe that God can bring new life out of places that we feel cut down. Second, to always approach him with the gentle, childlike trust that he celebrates in today's gospel. These graces prepare us for his arrival. They make space for his peace, and they allow the shoot to spring up again from what we thought was just a stump. Christ is on his way. Let him begin something new in you again.